this is a very important game in giving us an idea of how the rest of the matches are going to play out.
Yeah, I think this is a crucial one as well because, like the desk was saying, I mean, Greyhound Gaming are almost 1,000 points behind the lead. They're 5 points off rock bottom. So this has definitely been a shocking land so far for them, and they're going to need to turn things around. Everyone else is starting to normalise a little bit, but at the end of the day, Ground Zero Gaming and Athletico are the standouts. Maybe ARCANE as well at this point. But Chiefs, finally, they get some runs on the board. But I think what's actually going to come down to is because everything will be so even with the placings, it's going to come down to the kills. And you can see in those leaderboards, some of those teams have 200, 250 points in just kills.
Well, I think that's Athletico, really. That's where they're getting a lot of their points from.
That is going to amass over the next couple of days. So if people aren't careful, it's going to have to come down to a slugfest because position won't be enough.
15 points for a kill. I mean, some other formats that we've seen going around, you don't get that many points for a kill. So
not over 3 days as well. Like, it doesn't all culminate like it will be here. So
you're going to get up to 50, 100 kills perhaps at the end of all these matches.
You have 1,000 points and kills. You can't get that points back unless you win a game.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of work to be done for a lot of these teams. Just having a quick look across the map to see if anyone's chosen any sort of differing drop locations.
Looks all about the same.
Looks the same. I mean, Chiefs have gone straight back to Gatka. We did see them drop up around Stalva, Kameshki in the last game.
They did go to Kameshki in the last game.
But now they've just defaulted back to their original position, and actually that's worked out quite nicely for them because the circle fairly favourable. They're going to have a lot of room to manoeuvre. I mean, there's obviously a lot of people still in that circle, but Chiefs would have been on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Greyhound, they've gone back to their usual South Georgia bowl as well, and they haven't split up yet, so it'll be interesting to see if they ditch that strategy. ARCANE, again, they've got the south part of the island, just north of Primorsk there. And yeah, like you said, Athletico back to Milta Power, so everything seems pretty normal at the moment. Pathogen with their Yasnaya, Order with their Severny sort of spawn, grabbing some vehicles where they can, Avant dropping into Pachinki, so everything looking normal so far. They'll have that entire military base to themselves. Ground Zero, they're a bit late, but looks like they'll get their Novo in the end. So interesting times ahead. Looks like everyone's got time to loot and get into this circle, a very central circle. First sort of west side, you could say.
Yeah, actually, that's quite interesting as well because, like you said, we've seen 2 circles on the east. Now we got something a little bit different. So we're going to have to start seeing all those eastern-sided teams being the ones to rotate as opposed to the western-sided teams. So that might favour teams like Chiefs, teams maybe like Immunity. Taboo, we've seen struggling a little bit. Kingdom Gaming, again, they're sitting in 20th place right now, but now they're fully situated right in that circle, so they're going to have lots of loot time, and they're going to sit themselves in a good spot in this first circle.
This is maybe where a strategy where Chiefs have, it might pay off, where maybe they have a west side game, which is their Gatka, and then they have their east side game, which is a Kameshki, and they just alternate between the two. Eventually, they're going to get more circles, perhaps, doing it that way than just staying in the one location, but who knows? Champs is off on his recon mission again. Might run into Kaysen from Avant, but we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, he's taken some shots at him. It could be the first knock of the game, but doesn't look like we're going to be seeing a kill come out of that one. Yeah. So just a little bit of excitement for a small moment, but nothing too crazy just yet. Everyone's still really focused on looting up. I mean, you might see Pathogen having a bit of a go at Bandits. Who do you think, up in Yasnaya, but apart from that, nothing's too crazy.
Raging Knights with the upset with their Primorsk loot once again. But who do you think? What do you think is going to happen here when the rotate comes in? People are coming in. It's that whole eastern seaboard that are going to get in trouble, isn't it?
Vanguard. Yeah. Well, immediately you can see Avant and Chiefs have sent their scout forward. They've taken that position in the middle of the map. It's Champs in sort of the banana houses near the ruins, and Kasun, I think, is in the double story in the middle of the forest just above the ruins, if you know what I'm talking about. So both of those teams are now trying to sort of lock down a nice compound in the middle of the circle.
That compound Kasun has is actually amazing. The 2 white boxes, I don't know if they call those the sugar cubes, but if Avant can get from Pachinki to there, or even if they need to at any point, sure. Immunity sending Uncry out just for a bit of a scout as well. That's a nice spot Immunity have as well because they take that school just underneath Rozok and have that loot all to themselves, so they're going to be fine. Tedesco again on that early recon mission for Tainted Mines. I think that's where the real fight is going to be. If Vanguard get into their position inside the circle early, you know, you've got that deflade just to the southeast of the school there. If they can get that before Tainted Mines rotate and Athletico rotate, they'll be fine. The thing is, these teams generally start to rotate now. The top teams, they don't wait for the circle to squish. As you can see, some of the Tainted Mines guys are on the move. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be looking to see. Chiefs, they don't need to do a whole lot, but they've got a lot of territory. They're very spread out at the moment.
Well, there's a lot of teams rotating right now. TABOO's already sent their scout forward. Obviously, we talked about Chiefs and Avant before, Tainted Minds before. KANGA's on the move a little bit. SYF have sent their players forward.
Oh, this spot by Greyhound is actually their favourite. I'm pretty sure.
Diamond.
Yeah, every time I see these guys, they're around this area. The Diamond is one of their favourite spots.
It is a very good spot.
This could be their opportunity to get back in the game. If the circle does start to go north, a lot of them have been going south. From the second.
At this point, it's really, really hard to predict where that circle's going to go. It literally could go anywhere, but there's our first knock of the round. Defs from Carnage having a little bit of a spat with Radar. And it's going to go the way of Taboo, but he's got some more players to deal with. And Radar, he gets his second now as well. Headlow goes down. This is looking like disaster for Carnage early on in the piece. Sunny's still relatively close by here. Going to try and res up Defs. And Radar, he's actually on his own at the moment, but he does have a rotator coming in a vehicle. Not sure who that is right now, but if they can get an angle in onto the side of Sunny, this is going to be all over Red Rover for Carnage. And Laff somehow managed to get himself knocked down as well, so not sure exactly what's going on there, but Radar is single-handedly winning this fight right now for Taboo. He picks up the first 2 kills of the game. Remember, he's still got another knock there as well, Headlow being the one that's down in that situation, so Carnage are basically down to 1 player already.
Radar just having an absolute cracker of a start here. Just taking on that fight all by himself, like you were saying, and paying dividends. He'll be able to loot that up. He was running out of ammo, but obviously just having that superior firepower and positioning on the Carnage guys. I mean, look, at this point, you're going to see a rank tank come out.
Untainted's not going to go there and res Headlow, so that's not the start that Carnage would have wanted. I don't remember exactly where they were sitting on the standings, but they were certainly not up towards the top.
They've been having absolute shock.
So this is not the start that you want if you're sitting in probably the bottom 10, if I had to make a guess.
No, they definitely are. They have not had a great start. If I remember, they were in one of the first fights in the first game as well, so I definitely need to start thinking about staying out of the action for a little bit longer like the top teams managed to do. Maybe the thing is, right, if you know where every other top team drops, you can theoretically try to avoid them when they're rotating.
Well, the thing for me that's really interesting about that kind of concept is that, you know, for a team like Team Immunity, that I feel like they have one of the best drop locations. Right in the middle of the map, you've got school, you've got apartments, even Rozok to an extent, a lot of loot around there, and you're never really going to get ruined by the circle. You're in the middle of the map, so you have one of the shortest rotates across the entire map. And a lot of the time, you're going to be in that first circle anyway. So, you know, if I'm one of the teams, say, for example, Ground Zero sitting on Novo, I'd be like, well, this isn't really fair. I'm on Novo. I have to rotate onto the entire other side of the map. And yet you get to sit in the middle of the map.
The thing is, teams like Ground Zero and Exile who do the military base time and time again, you get used to rotating. You know where everyone else is. You know ARCANE do just above the bridge there at Sosnovka. So you just go, okay, well, we need to be a little bit delayed. We need to allow ARCANE to get into position first. They usually like to go here, so we just usually like to go there. These guys verse each other quite often, right? So it's going to get down to that point where you know each other's tendencies and you work around that. That's how, like, the first time I watched PUBG, I was flabbergasted. I was like, how do these guys rotate in and not die? It's because they just know where everyone else is.
Just a quick update on our last discussion. Carnage in 12th place at the moment, so they really do need those points on the board. I mean, they're not at the very bottom, but you know, 12th place is quite a long way from 1.
They're not greyhounding, but they're not having a great game.
Circle is now starting to come in, so we're going to have to start to see Ground Zero making their move. Now, remember, Ground Zero doing really, really well right now. They're our leaders on the standings, but they're going to be the last one into this circle, so they're going to have to decide whether they want to actually commit to somewhere in the middle, or if they're going to play circle huggers for a little bit here. Uncry looking for a knock there onto one of the Avant players. I think it's Cozy. He's not really going to be able to get the kill across, but a little bit of damage. Can't complain. Going to force some health kits up there from Cozy. You know, damages armor.
If he can just get rid of a wheel or something from that vehicle, then Cozy's up.
He's in a really bad spot.
Up the creek without a paddle.
Yep, definitely. But Ground Zero now on the move as we watch them depart Military Island. Striker now having a go at Cozy. Somebody surely has got to knock him out here, but he's managed to get out of there just in time. ARCANE having a bit of a... How you going with Tainted Minds there as well. Insight finds 2 kills. Actually ends up confirming those kills as well. So Tainted Minds now down to 2 players. And remember, they're also in a pretty bad position on the standings. So their woes are continuing here into match 3.
Yeah, they've really been struggling. It's been one of the surprise packages for me. Tedesco was so good for them in the online qualifiers, and coming into this land so far, their rotates have just been woeful. They haven't had a chance at all. And you can't put that down to circle luck every single time. I mean, they drop into where they usually drop. They get looted with what they usually get looted with, but It's their rotate getting into the circle. They've just been maybe a little overzealous, a little ambitious. And they've been punished once again.
The thing that I want to have a look at here right now, Ground Zero, Athletico, Vanguard, they're all really, really close together, and they're still all outside the circle right now. So there's going to be some fighting going on that eastern side of the map before one of those teams is going to get in the circle. They're all in a bit of a spot of bother.
Yeah, I'm also interested to see how this fight pans out with AVANT and Immunity there. Just Cozy all by himself taking on the entire Immunity team because he's stuck in no man's land. But obviously, there's only so much loot to go around, so eventually there'll be a ceasefire. Until someone comes by and some salvageable kills. Oh, where is it? 14. Oh, just above, just to the right of the mountain.
Yeah, near Greyhound. Near Tainted Mines, although what's remaining of Tainted Mines.
Tell you what, you would not want to see Zoidmate or Oni-chan.
Cyclops stealing that kill.
Yeah.
It was Immunity that got the knock, but so far TABOO the only team to find a kill so far in this game. And they've got 4 kills.
I'm pretty sure ARCANE
got a couple onto Tainted Mines. My mistake. But yeah, they're really packing on those kills, which is nice for TABOO because again they're not sitting up towards the top of the scoreboard. They need every single point they can get.
Athletico, like we were saying, with that late rotate coming out of Milta Power. So interesting to see how they find their way into this next circle. And as we can see on the overview, that they've really got a safe passage. So there's no problems at all for them. But that northeast is going to get very tricky. And KANGA Esports are going to be definitely throwing some dice with the devil as the SYF are approaching.
Yeah, well, this is where Greyhound can now start to sort of play gatekeeper a little bit.
That's a new one.
As they've got that diamond that we spoke about. That kind of locks off the bridge that goes from the northern part of the map into Georgia Pole. So there's a potential for Greyhound to get a lot of kills here as all these rotations do start to come across. But inevitably, Greyhound are probably going to have to make a rotation themselves. It does look like this circle is going to be shifting further towards the south, further towards the Gatka fields.
Yep, Greyhound still just settling here, taking some shots at Pathogen as they drive on by. They might find themselves driving straight into one of those teams, either it's KANGA Esports or Kingdom Gaming. But so far, TABOO have just been doing really well with this compound. The Watertown, I believe. Oh, nut shot with the drive-by shot on the Kazarus.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't think Kazarus was the one that was on the motorbike.
I think he was.
Was he, you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, regardless, he's dead. So if it was the shot onto the guy on the motorbike, then kudos, of course, to nut shot. It would have been a good one. There's another order player coming for a rotate right past Immunity, so I'm not sure if I'd be too keen on that.
If at first you don't succeed.
Yeah, try again until you're dead, basically. Dead. Well, that's what Kazarus is. ARCANE still looking pretty good. They got those 2 kills earlier on against Tainted Mines. Now having a little bit of look here up against Raging Knights. But they've set themselves up in a compound as well in the Gatka field. So they'll be feeling pretty, or they're sitting pretty.
Oh, man. Bandits have been having a tough one as well. They were one of the first teams out in that first game. And now they're up against it already. TABOO firing down onto them.
They're trying to cross through the river, which is never a fun time.
They just don't have a vehicle. I mean, a lot of these teams have multiple vehicles ready for their rotate.
I don't know what Chabsky's in. Is he in a buggy or is he in a boat? He's very close to the river on the map. I think he's actually in a vehicle, but in a car, I should say. But that means he's going to have to go past Greyhound, or he's just going to have to jump right in the river and swim across, in which case, again, he's going to be facing the same sort of a fate as the rest of his team.
This is a rock and a hard place. You've got Greyhound over there. You've got Tainted Mines right next to you in the yellow houses. TABOO up in the ruins. So some superior positioning, and this is a very viable tactic.
Have a look at the rotation that Athletico are doing right now as well. Obviously, the map you can't see on stream, but for now, Athletico completely rotating all the way around that western side of the map, right up essentially the road that goes to Georgia Pole from south to north. They're still not even on this map. So they're basically out of the circle, miles out of the circle right now. But they're going for a very, very long rotate.
This could be a genius move. I mean, we could see their rotate. It was a clear path for them, but they didn't want to take any risks. They've gone completely south the island, now wrapping up through the west, as you're saying. And, I think it's going to pay dividends. Gatka's completely open. Chiefs have abandoned it for a centralized location. So Athletico could swindle their way in here and just rank tank until the end because they already have a lot of kills from the first couple of games. So it's definitely a viable tactic for them.
Yeah, I think Atletico, at least for me, have been the most impressive as far as their rotations and map positioning have been. I still think they've been a little unlucky with the circles in those first couple of games. But again, we're seeing a really smart move out from Atletico here. It just is going to come down to where they decide to go into the circle.
I want to see some camera time for Linksy. He's a top sniper. Wait till we see him with a Kar 98 or an M24 now that they've had a bit of time to practice with them on a more regular basis because they're a world spawn. So Linksy's the sniper for that team, and I'm definitely interested to see him get some camera time. Ace gun, straight down Ronan from Order, who's,
Another poor result starting to come out here for Order by the looks of things. They've lost at least 2 players now, so they're really struggling again here in match 3.
Ooh. Happy Navides, for me, he was one of the standout players in the qualifier, so keep an eye on him. Takes a few shots there from, well, who knows.
Oh, and Ludateo knocking down Uncry with the car.
Wow.
Get himself another kill there, so Immunity do suffer their first loss of this round.
Well, Uncry was like their scout a little bit. He was out in the middle of nowhere. You could see he was the reason they got that kill onto the Order player as well. So that's an interesting one for them.
Look, that's not the end of the world for Immunity. We saw Chiefs play essentially 3 players for the entirety of last round because someone got knocked off early.
But he's a big deal for Immunity.
He is, but the fact is Immunity still have a good position in the circle, and they still have themselves hold down in that compound. So the other 3 players for Immunity are going to be able to still stand strong, and I think they're still going to have a good chance in this round.
I think Greyhound have gone for that drop as well. I'm not sure if they've got it yet, but it looks like it's on their rotate, so there's no harm in just swinging by and seeing.
It might be even just a nice little bit of cover for them as they rotate into this circle, because Tainted Minds are going to have some shots in on Greyhound shortly when they do start coming down that defilade. In the meanwhile, Arcane and Vanguard are having a little bit of a shootout across the street. And it's going the way of Arcane at the moment. Yasukage has been knocked down, but this should be a fairly easy res here for Vanguard. Nothing to be too concerned about just yet.
In Atletico's mission to rotate, I wonder what's going to happen here. They're getting some shots onto SYF on their way through. And, there's a good opportunity for them to get into those tunnels. But Arcane, because Atletico have waited so long for their rotate, it's actually going to pay off because Arcane are getting some shots into SYF as well now, probably Raging Knights as well soon. And so that's going to prove to Atletico, be a little bit patient. We might be able to sneak in here.
My concern for Atletico here is that they're not really going to have anywhere to actually go in terms of this middle circle. You can still see they're just sitting in Gatka at the moment. Their rotation is going to be a little bit late, but where are they going to go?
They're just going to go straight into those tunnels, I
There's
reckon.
a massive field to deal with. The tunnels, that is an option, of course, but who knows where the next circle is going to go then.
Unless they just rush straight towards Arcane. That could be a mistake. But
it could actually be a really good move. They've seen Arcane get knocked, one
true.
player. They could take over that compound if they get the timing right.
That's not how they play PUBG, Jordan.
I realise.
Wait until you see there's no risks being taken here. You and I, we'd be straight in there. We hear the popcorn and we run in like thirsty cinema goers. But Atletico, they're just going to hedge their bets and allow Vanguard to finish their work. Raging Knights, for me, Pathogen sitting on that hill, how are they getting away with this? They're just absolutely...
Well, there's a lot of cover actually up on that hill.
Yeah, true. It is pretty dense forest just underneath it from this angle, but...
The trouble is going to be when they actually have to come off the hill. When you're running down the hill, that's when you're most vulnerable.
Interesting as well that AVANT left Pachinki for, no particular reason, really, because...
They wanted that middle circle position.
I know, but what if it goes back down there and then you've got intergalactic lads who will be absolutely devastating.
Well, Cryptic does go down to a nade, following a kill onto Woods.
It's about time we had a kill.
Not a kill just yet. A couple of knocks. Zidon getting the heck out of there because he's under a little bit of pressure. But Wigan, very, very interesting little flank position here. He's just going to be a bit of a thorn in the side for Kingdom Gaming. At the moment, no one taking any shots.
Wigan was a standout player in the qualifier as well for SYF.
Well, he could be make or break right now for SYF. If he goes down here, he's in a really tough spot to res. But he could also open this up onto Kingdom Gaming. And this is, well, not Wigan. It's just... getting the first couple of knocks. It's 2 players down here for Kingdom Gaming. This is where you want to see SYF taking advantage of that, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. Just being the entry into the house. He'll get the kill onto Music, or the knock at the very least. Also a knock onto Woods. Now it's a 2 versus 4, and that's it. SYF, they've knocked Kingdom Gaming out. 19 players, or 19 teams rather, left alive. Kingdom, well, they're in 20th on the standings, and they're in 20th in this game.
Are they going to get that? They are indeed going to get a res on Chuz as well, aren't they? Or is he gone for good?
I think he's good. I think they're raising him.
It was a big, it was a big risky play. I really enjoyed it. That's the kind of PUBG I like to see.
Exactly, that sort of breach mentality.
Yeah, we saw it in the qualifier. Immunity did something very similar. They literally drove a car into a shack and then took it over. And they won the game from that.
Next circle has popped here, and it's very favourable again for the Chiefs. So potentially we have a back-to-back winner if they can continue to lock down those banana houses that they've been sitting in. You can see there's so many players starting to converge in on their position, but they're doing a really, really good job of holding on to that. And it's really everyone else's problem now that the Chiefs have set themselves up in a really, really nice little bunker.
Interesting to see if McClutch is able to get past Exile here. They're trying to get into the Pachinki or the Church Tower or anything like that on their rotate. It's going to be very difficult for them. I feel like one of them is going to go down very soon. And that's the Raging Knights Guru down. Greyhound in a fight with ARCANE.
They're not in just a fight with ARCANE. They're in a fight with Vanguard. I think even Exile are shooting some shots in there. And Greyhound just caught in a massive crossfire. They are in all sorts of trouble. I think they're actually dead. All of them are gone. Greyhound out in 19th place. Again, another awful result for Greyhound. And they're going to be spewing after that because they had all 4 players alive, but then they just got caught in this gigantic crossfire from 3 teams.
At this point, you've got to be absolutely rabid that you're just getting knocked out so early every single game after trying so long. I mean, they're almost rank tanking just to get to 18th. Yeah, there's no kills for them.
It's just not going their way. It's not their day. But still, we got 2 more days after this, so it's not the end of the world for Greyhound, but they are going to be feeling like there's going to be a lot of work to be done in the next few matches ahead of them. Raging Knights, they're still alive in this one, watching SYF rotate through the map, but they're very close to the circle here as well, and they're not actually in an awful position. Once they do get right next to that hill, they'll have a little bit of defilade to play with. And Zidon, unfortunately for you, mate, I think you're done and dusted. The kill stolen by AVANT. But Jumbi was the one to knock him down. Still, he's out of the game. And Chiefs, in the meanwhile, still continuing to clean up as many kills as they can. SYF now knocked out of the competition. 17 teams left alive, and SYF 18th.
You can see here, Yasukage, he's got complete eyes on ARCANE on their last legs.
He's waiting for his rotations. He's got a few more teammates coming in here, but it's 4 versus 2. Vanguard should be knocking these remaining 2 ARCANE players out. Yasukage just spamming away, will eventually get the job done there onto Testroy, and inside he's in all sorts of problems. Look at this, Vanguard with the flank right around the side. They know roughly where he is. They just need to spot him out, sitting in the grass there, and inevitably ARCANE is going to be done and dusted, and that's it. Insight goes down. 16 teams left now. In the meanwhile, just everyone. It's another bloodbath right now, isn't it?
ARCANE just stealing that kill away from Vanguard as well. So that's a free one for them. ARCANE will be eliminated quite early on for a top 5 team so far.
Yeah.
And TABOO as well chiming in with one on Detainer Mines. I think that they're almost gone as well now. And Raging Knights in a good position here, but Vanguard have been doing a really good account for themselves so far this game.
Well, this is a very, very risky fight to take as Raging Knights because they have absolutely no cover at all. And Vanguard have actually got quite a significant amount of cover with those trees, with those cars. You can see it's not going the way of Vanguard, or rather it's not going the way of Raging Knights. They're all down, and Vanguard knocks another team out.
Wow, huge work there by Vanguard. Definitely benefiting from that cover system that ARCANE set up.
It was perfect timing, really, for Vanguard, wasn't it? If they hadn't got that position, if they hadn't got those kills onto ARCANE, they would have been the ones stuck in a crossfire.
You could feel they definitely were feeling the pressure, and it's unbelievable that ARCANE go down in such a fashion. You know, such a powerhouse in a OCE PUBG.
That leaves an opening now for another team. For example, someone like Team Immunity, who's still alive, or one of those teams that's kind of sitting in there to chase them down.
Yep. So Bandit Esports say goodbye as well. And TABOO, 7 kills. They've been just going from strength to strength in this game.
Yeah, all players still alive as well there for TABOO. Or maybe I speak too soon, as Rumrage has been knocked down.
Sorry, that Bandits still have Testy alive, sitting in this smoke like an absolute champ.
Oh, Testy alive, that's what you want.
A Vape Nash.
Still not in a good position, though. He's going to have a rotation required, and maybe Cyclops can hit a massive Kobe here. I don't think it's going to go quite far enough, and a little bit of damage. A very good grenade, actually, you got to say, but Testy's still alive. Still under a lot of pressure, though.
It's your mate Skylops.
Skylops, yeah. Got to apologise for that one, but for TABOO, they need to be thinking about where they want to rotate in now, because they have cover in those ruins, but the circle is moving, and Testy just gets that health kit off on time.
AVANT, one of their members, goes down, so only 2 remaining for them, I believe.
Honestly, for me, Ian, this really looks like another game for the Chiefs that they should be having a very, very good opportunity of closing out.
Don't forget, Immunity have been sitting pretty quiet. I don't remember seeing them get up to anything.
Yeah, they need to move across, though, but Nutshot's already locked down another compound. That's the one just north of Pachinki with the triple hut, triple tower. For the Chiefs, they're still right in the middle of the circle. ATHLETICO's still roughly alive near the warehouse outside Pachinki, but they have a lot of players to deal with, a lot of Exile guys hanging around there, so really it's going to be either Exile or Athletico to get out of here, not both.
I can't wait to see this fight between Ground Zero and TABOO, with Waikakamukau just sitting in there trying to rank tank his way into this last circle. 3, 4 very strong teams all in a close proximity.
Double J, he really should have gotten that knock. Neferhor coming out of the smoke actually wins the aim duel. That could be critical. Gives Neferhor a little bit of extra time here. He can heal himself up.
It's not critical, it's Neferhor.
Oh, thanks. Okay, my mistake. But Neferhor, he's going to be able to heal himself up. Double J can't get rezzed. And now it's on to McClutch and Lynxy to make sure that Exile can't rotate past them. And Neferhor being the backstab here in the car. But oh, don't get in that one. Exile, they just have to pop out of the warehouse and they can just absolutely decimate Neferhor. So he's in a real world of hurt here if he continues on forward. And this is not going to go too nicely, I don't think, for him.
Yeah, sure. Here's some safe passage, Neferhor.
He just drives past him.
Yeah, he just had to get straight through and obviously asked permission. And there he goes down to Vanguard. They're not having any of that.
No, certainly not. So now Athletico realize how many problems they actually have because they've got players on all sides, but they are at least inside the circle, so they don't have to move. But Neferhor, I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of here alive. He needs to actually crawl all the way around to Lynxy, but of course Stacky is going to have an angle in there. So stealing the kill away from Vanguard, but now Athletico remaining with only 2 players.
Radar also going down for TABOO. I'm not sure who it was, but we do have Tainted Minds, AVANT, and Ground Zero in close proximity, but it's actually Ground Zero and Immunity having a fight in the distance.
Cyclops can do no wrong right now. Can he? He's on a 3k already, 6k out there for Radar. I mean, even if TABOO do go down early on in the piece here, they've gotten 11 kills, so that is a lot of points on the board for them. And you just need to see Gadgets and Cyclops here trying to stay as alive as long as possible. A top 5 finish here with that many kills is still going to net you a massive, massive boost.
Yep, Intergalactic lads, don't forget about them. They were in Pachinki that whole time. They're still coming in through. But I can't believe how lucky Cyclops was to get that heal off with Nick just peppering him with a couple of shots here and there. I think Order are completely eliminated now. I don't remember seeing Waikakamukau go down, but I believe he has.
Yeah, I don't see them on the map unless he's sort of hidden under somebody else's icon.
Oh, geez. Watch this. Ground Zero are going to stumble onto Tedesco soon if they're not careful.
Nick's under a lot of pressure as well. TABOO, they just, everywhere they seem to go, they're finding a fight, and they seem to be winning the majority of them as well. Gadgets, though, has gone down to Ground Zero, and Cyclops, that's it. TABOO are done and dusted. They're out in 12th. Unfortunate result given the fireworks that we saw from them, but now everything's happening up near Pachinki as Athletico gets in a fight, Exile gets in a fight. I think that's Athletico out now. Intergalactic lads are involved in there as well. I'm not sure who ended up getting all those kills.
Everyone.
But Intergalactic lads still have 4 players alive. Immunity are still there with their 3. Pathogen is going to really put some problems in this rotate for Intergalactic lads. And in the meanwhile, Immunity and KANGA, they're having a fight. Everything's going on right now.
Unbelievable. And Chiefs are just sitting pretty. Just sitting at the top of the hill.
That's exactly right. The Chiefs haven't had to do anything.
Oh, well, they're about to. Here we go. Chiefs getting that shot onto Tedesco, eliminating Tainted Minds' dreams. And that's going to give away their position for Ground Zero. Sharky's just been left to bite the dust. And he will do so in the end.
Biggie's now dead as well for Team Immunity. So just 2 players left remaining for them. It'll be Striker and Nutshot, I believe. Intergalactic lads having a little bit of a... backwards and forwards with Pathogen.
Can't see Nutshot on the map overview, but could be wrong.
Perhaps he's gone down as well, and it is just Striker left alive here for Immunity, walking right into Intergalactic lads. Though he should know exactly where they are because they've been making a lot of noise.
For me, yeah, look, Chiefs have a very commanding position for this last circle, so it's going to be very hard for KANGA Esports, but they are on the sneak, while Ground Zero are getting in Chiefs' face.
Well, there's still a good chance that the next circle is going to force Chiefs out. Who knows?
Unlikely. I'm going to say, if it's a Vanguard circle, like, Intergalactic lads are in a great spot.
Well, we could very, very easily see a Vanguard circle that would then completely flip this game on its head. But Chiefs, you know, they've really, you've seen so many kills coming out from them on the kill feed. I'm not sure how many they've actually confirmed.
Just the 1 player for Immunity, so Striker's going to have to rank tank as much as he can, but he's going to get caught by Intergalactic lads. See what he can do.
Well, that's a good start. Knock, but he needs to follow up. At least he gets the extra 15 points, confirming that kill, but now he'll need the reload. You can already see Intergalactic lads there coming in back with a vengeance. Max seems to have spotted him out. Striker still alive for now, but inevitably he has to go down. He's fighting his best, but only the 1 knock after the initial kill is going to mean that he is now knocked out. And Immunity bow out in 6th place. Chiefs still all 4 players left alive. KANGA, no. They've got 2 left, I think, from what I can see. Ground Zero have gotten 3. Vanguard have still got 3, Intergalactic Lads with 3 as well. So you still have to think Chiefs are in a good spot here. They've still got the circle mostly favourable for them.
Ground Zero again, solidify a top 5 spot. This is unbelievable. Intergalactic Lads as well sneaking in for their first top 5 appearance. Let's see. Like, Striker has really set them back, and it will be up to them now. If they can stabilise by taking down Vanguard, who have been amazing so far, that's their opportunity to win this game. But otherwise, Chiefs are the top dog at the moment.
Yeah, but this is also Chiefs' opportunity to overtake Ground Zero as the first seed. You know, Ground Zero is so close to them. Ground Zero has to come past them, and they're only 200 points behind them as well.
They do have this little bit of defilade, so they will be able to swing.
But they have to run straight into KANGA.
Well, it's not that big a deal. They have the number advantage. I don't think KANGA is in a very good spot from a flank maneuver because they are the ones that are static.
Well, there's a chance as well for Chiefs if they really want to be a little bit risky, if they really want to put themselves in a very, very good spot. If P for Potato or Champs comes around behind Ground Zero as they're forcing into the blue, that's really going to cause problems for Ground Zero. So that's a win condition or possibility at least for Chiefs.
You can see that's what they're thinking about. Champs definitely could swing and come from behind, but
Intergalactic Lads in a crossfire, Ian.
I don't know. I kind of want Intergalactic Lads to win, but I feel like Vanguard are going to come out on top of that because of their position.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a chance now. It's just Bruce left up for Intergalactic Lads. And look at this position from Critical up on the roof. Very, very risky because, of course, he's skylining a little bit, but also does give him a lot of info. And that's Intergalactic Lads now being knocked down in 5th place. Critical has spotted a couple of players out. There's, of course, Ground Zero and KANGA fighting against each other. And this is where the Chiefs will pounce. Edge pushing on forward, and that's it. He's going to be able to absolutely decimate the Ground Zero guys on the heel. Mavgod will go down, and Chiefs knock another team out. It's now a 1 versus 1 as far as the teams are concerned, at least. Chiefs up against Vanguard as Ground Zero are eliminated. And the Chiefs, how many players have they got? Looks like they've lost Edge.
They've got 3, I think.
3 versus 2 for Vanguard, but on opposite sides of the circle. This is the last one that we're going to get to see. It does slightly favour Vanguard, but I still think Chiefs are going to be okay.
I think it favours Vanguard. I mean, I think it favours Chiefs, rather. They do have a lot of ways into that circle. Vanguard, really, they only have trees. So it'll be very interesting to see how Chiefs approach this. They have got some loot options down on that left defilade if they're quick about it. If they haven't done so already, I feel like they probably have.
They probably would have.
But look, fighting uphill, Jordan, we know how difficult that can be. So that could go well for Vanguard, but there's some great shots on the Chiefs side.
Definitely, definitely. Critical is shown to be quite a dangerous player. I mean,
8 shots left.
9 kills already here for the Chiefs. Critical, 5 of them. Edge, 4 of them. So that just backs up that point. But this is going to be a very, very big win for the Chiefs. If they do end up closing this one out with so many kills, they'll get at least 11 plus that first place point. So that's going to knock them all the way straight up to first place position. So this is the opportunity for Chiefs. They're sending out a bit of a split here. The distraction of Champs in the UAZ. Just going to try and flush out some players. But in the end, he knocks himself down, gets out of the car too early under too much pressure from the shots of DJ Arnie. Now, at least DJ Arnie's position is known here by Critical, but he's out in the middle of nowhere. This is still winnable for Vanguard.
Yep, definitely. They've got everything in their favour right now. They've got the hill. They've got a tree for cover.
Both of the Chiefs players half HP as well, whereas Vanguard looking very healthy at the moment. This grenade, we'll see what that can do. Critical getting tagged down once again. Needs to hide behind that smoke. He does have, of course, enough to heal himself up, but this is a very, very prolonged fight, and there's surely no way that Champs is going to be able to get revived here.
It looks like they're actually thinking about it. Critical's going to go for a broke.
Well, it's a risky cross, because he's going to be crossing both sightlines of those Vanguard players, and Champs in the end is just going to be executed there by Spaggy. So now we're into a 2v2. P for Potato had an opportunity there onto Spaggy, but doesn't land the shots he needs. In the meanwhile, though, Critical does get rid of DJ Arnie.
Wow.
And Spaggy, no HP. The Chiefs close out another one, 2 in a row. And 11 kills for them as well, Ian. That is a dominating victory for the Chiefs.
Yeah, look, they've been playing fantastic in the lead up to this tournament, and they had a bit of a shaky start, but they're definitely here now with 2 back-to-back victories. And, you know, despite going into that last battle 2 versus 4, I think they really did well to win it, you know, because of the position they're in going uphill. But I think Vanguard definitely choked that one out just a little bit.
Yeah, very different looking top 5 this time. Chiefs, Vanguard, Ground Zero, KANGA, and Intergalactic Lads. A lot of those teams we haven't seen up in the top 5 so far, with the exception, of course, of the Chiefs. And I mean, Ground Zero is still there in 3rd place, so they're still getting themselves points.